Good morning. Wanted to talk about a couple things about recovery here. One thing we really talked about a lot in during my sessions and during my coaching was parts. Um, Everyone has parts, basically parts that are come forward, parts of you that come forward during certain times of your day or life. Um, we all each have like an asshole in us or whatever, and those are parts of us. Like we all have that loving person. It's everyone's kind of got them in each person. That doesn't make any sense. Each person's got that in them, um, and people who have trauma. Let me try to explain this. People who have trauma, usually when the trauma happens, like especially something very traumatic, typically that's where you stay emotionally until you fix it or face it, or but people typically stay there emotionally and they never kind of grow out of that, so they're living a life in their 30s and 40s, older age, with the same fears and anxieties that a 6-year old would have trying to deal with that kind of life, trying to have a job. And so that 6-year old was running the show for a long time. Um, I just picked that age because that's kind of the earliest I can really remember. I can 6 to 9. I can already remember having kind of anger issues. So that's kind of the time I picked. I feel that's where things started. Maybe even before that. I just can't really remember much of my early childhood. So, uh, yeah, so that little kid's running the show, and now that I've had this therapy, I'm able to put him to bed and have him take a nap or go play with his friends for a little while. Um, and I'm kind of in charge now, the adult. I have to parent myself now, and it's like I've just adopted a 6 or 7 year old in my brain. And when things kind of start getting crazy, or I start getting upset, or whatever emotion, I'm allowing myself to feel it and try to understand it. But then I'm talking so I can talk to myself and explain to myself, well, what's going on, and tell the 6-year old what's going on so he understands. Um, it's not easy. It's kind of a new skill that I'm trying to perfect, and most of the time it's working lately. So that's great. That gives me so much confidence in going forward. So um, it feels good doing that. And like I said, it's like I have to parent myself now and just be gentle with myself because I was so effing hard on myself for so long that I do need to be hard on myself. I need to have discipline still. I need to be still need to be hard on yourself at times when you're lazy or you don't want to work out. You gotta kind of dig deep and get to that dark a little bit to push yourself and kind of be a little mean. But I was way too mean to myself. I was not even working out, just constantly calling myself a piece of shit and a loser. And I just posted something I think about Bruce Lee, and he said that even you shouldn't talk too bad about yourself. Don't take yourself too seriously, but also don't talk to yourself too badly too often, or even if you're just joking, because your body doesn't know the difference. So try to be kind to yourself as much as you can. And I read that this morning and that hit. So yeah, I'm trying to be nicer to myself and just try to understand the feelings I have when I have them and allow myself to have them, and don't feel bad about having certain feelings, but to try to learn where that's coming from and how to deal with it. I'm getting much better at that in a short period of time, which is cool. It's like I said, I can fight the bad thoughts off really easily, but I got to be careful because I can also put stuff off easily as well. Like I can just say, no, I'm not gonna think about that. So I need to, prioritize what I need to think about, and at times I do need to maybe feel a little uncomfortable, because you do need to kind of do that as well as making yourself as uncomfortable as possible and seeking uncomfortability. Uncomfortability. Wow, that's a long one. Is good for you. It's like doing hard things. It's kind of getting out of your comfort zone is good for you, because I think we all seek comfort way too much. It's just such a so comforting, you know. And I think we've come so far from our ancestors that had to, you know, scramble for fucking food. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. Hold on. So I think a lot of the angst that a lot of us have, kind of every day, just stress is. Even it doesn't matter what you believe in. Even our ancestors had back in the day had to fight off freaking lions, and you know you had to get food, and it was life or death every freaking day just to survive. And you were exerting all kinds of energy just to find food or to, you know, harvest food, and you were just always going. It was like a non-stop type of thing. And now we've become so sedentary in our lifestyles that that shit's still in our DNA. I don't care what you say, it's still there. So you got to get that shit out. And I think if you get that out every day, you're going to feel better. I know I've talked about that a lot, and it's a lot different now that I'm in a different mindset, but I truly believe that kind of stuff. Yeah, you don't have to be hardcore like Goggins, but definitely try to exert yourself a little bit every day or try something difficult, because I think that is in our DNA, and I think that we have to do that. And if we don't, we're in our head, or we make up shit, or you're constantly worrying. You know, when you've exerted yourself so much that you can't even move anymore, you don't give a shit about anything. You don't care. You just feel good, or you're fucking exhausted, too exhausted to feel or think about anything. So if you're able to push yourself past your comfort zone, I think you might feel a little bit better. I do. I push myself way past comfort zones, and in a very short period of time, and I'm definitely better for it. Um, I've got a lot of work to do. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to say this is a perfect miracle. It's not a miracle pill. Nothing is. You still have to do the work, and it's not easy, but it's easier. Let's put it that way. It's a lot easier to you just shatter that cycle of self-loathing and losership. You lose it. So you're able to look at yourself in a kinder way and the world in a kinder way. So it's freaking awesome. It's awesome. Difficult, hard, scary at times, but worth it in the end. Even the times I was terrified in sessions, or not terrified, I was never terrified, just nervous and scared. Every time after that, I was comforted. So I think it was teaching me to let go, and the harder I held on to it, the crazier it got. So letting go is important. Whatever it is in your life, whatever that thing is that's holding you back, just let it go, because you may find joy on the other side, like I did. And that's it for today. Um, yeah, so be kind to your 6-year-old self, um, because he deserves it, or she deserves it. They deserve it. Um, you might have to sometimes just be the parent that you needed.